Hey, what is up, everybody? Bob Heilig here, your virtual upline, and here we are, the halfway point of the Revive Your Downline Challenge, day number 3. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you, the title of this training today is Building Your Relational Accounts. And here's who this training is for today. I'm going to help solve or tackle another really big problem that I know many of you have, which is this. How and when should you follow up with prospects that have already told you no in the past? So, over time, we accumulate a big portion of our network that are people that we've already shared our products and or business with, they were not interested in. And I know how much of a struggle it is sometimes to creatively come up with reasons to reconnect with them and figuring out how frequently should we do that. Well, I promise you today's training is going to solve that problem for you. And it is going to be a very different mindset and approach when it comes to this area. So listen, we officially, this has been pretty incredible. We officially went over 40,000 people in this group today. So I just want to acknowledge all of you for, number one, showing up and being here. Just the fact that you've made it to the halfway point tells me a lot about you. But I also want to acknowledge you for promoting this challenge in this community. And I think, I feel really humbled and very grateful to be able to be a part of all of your journey, to know to think about the ripple effect that we could help create inside of this profession and outside of it by having a bunch of you more focused on building your business the right way and the effect that can have over time. So that's been pretty amazing. But look, if you've got some team members in the group and you're like, oh man, I know they need help with following back up with people, make sure you tag them in this video so that they see it and hopefully can join live if they're available to. So hey, here's the other thing. I want to ask a question. How many of you got your 5 no's yesterday? How many of you got your 5 no's? I had a lot of you reaching out to me here on Facebook and Instagram. And I got to tell you, it was pretty amazing to see. I was kind of laughing in an excited way. A lot of you were posting in the group yesterday how you couldn't get to the 5 no's. How you were actually getting yeses and you were like, I can't even find 5 people that were not interested. And I just think, isn't it interesting how when we let go of our resistance to no and we embrace it as part of the process, how we begin to change. We start vibrating differently. We start letting go of other people's opinions and caring about the outcome, knowing that ultimately the lessons that we learn along the way are going to be the most powerful. So I think that was amazing. But hopefully, here's what I pray that I've begun to do for you is begin to shift your relationship to no. And I hope that I've planted that seed that keeping a healthy attitude towards failure will be the key to your success. So let's get into, though, the topic for today, because I know that this is one that a lot of you are really needing some help with. And like I said, I'm going to teach you a totally different mindset when it comes to this area, like following back up with people. And I'm going to make it incredibly simple for you to do this, right? So that you don't get stuck with fear or with confusion anymore, with doubt. But more importantly, if you can execute the strategy that I'm going to teach you today, here's what I will guarantee you over time. This strategy, if you can make it a normal part of your business, will absolutely lead you to exponentially better results. So here's how I want to start off. I want to talk about what are relational accounts. So here's how I want you to think about relational accounts. They're like bank accounts, but instead of money, what we're talking about is relationship capital, right? It's like a bank account. It's an imaginary, but it's a very real thing that exists with every person that you know, right? It's instead of money, it's relationship capital. And it's important for you to realize that these accounts exist with every person in your life, right? With your family, with your friends, with your acquaintances, right? people that you've known in the past that you haven't spoken to in some time, even the people that you're connected to on social media that you're connected to but don't even really know one another. You just know that you're there. You've got relational accounts with those people. You've got relational accounts with the people that are on your team as well, with your customers. They exist in every area of your life. And it's critical to understand how this concept will ultimately help you determine your long-term success. Here's how it works. Over time, you either have a tendency, as you live your life, to slant towards being more of a giver or a taker. Now, here's the thing, is just like a real bank account, you have an opportunity to build up the account balances, to build up the relational capital by making deposits, which are done through being a giver, right? And now let me clarify what that means, because it could mean a lot of things. So giving could be demonstrated a lot of different ways. Let me give you some examples here. Number one, anytime that you show sincere interest or love or care or compassion or empathy, anytime you are just there for someone else in a way that they know that and they experience it, you make a deposit in the relational account. Anytime that you're a trusted, dependable friend or family member or coworker, it's like, I look back on my life, those things that we do that at the time are a big inconvenience, like helping someone move or watching their dog or taking their kids home from soccer practice. All of these little things that are an inconvenience to us in the moment have a dramatic impact long term on helping us build relational capital with people. Now, but it doesn't always have to be these big acts, right? It could be little things. Just going out of your way to be there. Like, I'm going to ask you a scary question right now. When was the last time you called someone on the phone, spoke to them in person live, and it wasn't with the goal of trying to sell them or recruit them? You genuinely just were thinking of someone and you said, hey, wanted to check in. And there are a lot of people that's the way they live their life. It's just who they are. They go out of their way for other people. Another thing is this, sharing content on social media, right? If all you try to do is sell and promote on social media, you're a taker. But if you share content on social media that's not geared towards selling, that most of the time you're just sharing yourself and stuff to try to help other people, that's being a giver. Doing live videos is a giver. Do you realize every time you do a live video and you're not selling, you're just trying to share and help? That's like making any person that sees that video, you just made a small deposit in that account. You're building your relational capital. Look, this list goes on and on and on, and I think you get the point. And my question to you is this. I want you to really ask yourself the difficult question. Do you consider yourself more of a giver or a taker? Now, let me be clear on one thing. Being a taker does not make you a bad person. Look, you can have the best intentions, and it just means that you don't go out of your way to do these things. And look, if I'm honest, I struggle with this, right? Look, it's so easy for us to just get lost in the daily craziness of family and business and work. It's really easy to lose sight of the long-term value of building relational capital with people. And the reason why I'm telling you that this is really important for you, and the reason why we're spending an entire day's training on this, is because of this. In your network marketing business, you must understand that your network will ultimately determine your net worth. Look, the quality of your relationships will have more of an impact on your eventual success than arguably anything else you could ever do in your business. And I think that we just have to recognize, as being a network marketer, you've got to make an effort in this area. Because this is the way that this starts to translate into results. So you either give or you take, and you've got all these relational accounts with all these different people in your life. And then you decide at some point you're going to want to go approach them, share your products to try to sell them, or ask them to look at your business or join you or support you or make a referral. Anytime you approach someone, what you're essentially doing is, I want you to imagine it's like you're trying to make a withdrawal from the account. Asking somebody to be a customer is partially a withdrawal. Asking them to support you, asking them to take the time to look at what you're doing, that's a withdrawal. And here's where this becomes a problem. If you haven't made the deposits into the account, the balance is going to be zero. You're probably not going to like the result. Listen, if you went to the bank and you never made a deposit into your checking account, but you wrote this big check and you gave it to the teller, and he or she looked at it and you were like, I'm sorry, ma'am or sir, there's nothing in the account. Well, here's what I know. You wouldn't get angry at the teller because you didn't make the deposits, but what do? We experience this in our life. Our family and friends don't support us in the way we think. We're not honest with ourselves and we don't take accountability in this area, but we get angry at them. And look, I know that this is hard, but here's the harsh reality that a lot of people experience. When you first join your network marketing business and you begin to approach your family and friends, people you know, you are either going to reap the rewards or you are going to pay the price of the life that you have lived prior to joining your business. And what that means is, if you've been a giver, you're going to have a lot of relational capital to cash out. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to support you. And it's hard when we join and we go to people and they don't support us, but we don't want to take responsibility. We just want to blame. What's wrong with you? Why? See, you've got to take responsibility. You can't change other people. All you can do is change the way that you are in relation to them, and then hope over time you can build up enough relational capital with people that it'll make a difference. And look, I'm not sharing this with you to try to discourage you or get you depressed, because maybe you're realizing, if I'm honest with myself, if I do want to take responsibility, I haven't been the best in this area. And I'm not sharing it with you to discourage you. I'm sharing it with you to encourage you. I'm sharing it with you to understand this. No matter how bad you've been, no matter how lacking you've been in this area, you can change today. You can change today. You can become the person that you need to be to deserve the results you want. Start giving. Start going out of your way for others. Start being interested and stop trying to be so interesting to people. Really love and care about them. And in the beginning, you're not going to see the immediate results because it takes time, but I'm telling you, there are very few things that you will ever do in your business and in your life that will have an impact on the quality of your life and your results than what we're talking about right here. So what I want you to do today, starting out, I want to raise your awareness about this. And I want to help you start to create a plan to intentionally build up these relational accounts in your business. Because here's the problem a lot of you have. People only hear from you when you're trying to prospect and recruit them. And that's the reason why you're constantly unsuccessful, because you're never advancing the relationship. You're never adding value to that person's life through what we're talking about. And if you can start to do that, you will be absolutely amazed at how different your results are. See, because all of this is rooted in something called the principle of reciprocity. And the principle of reciprocity basically says this, is if you do for others, over time, they will naturally feel inclined to want to do for you, right? It is a universal law, and we experience this all in our relationships and all these other areas, but we forget about it in our business. We have short-term thinking. Now, here's the key, though, because there is a catch, right? There's always a catch. The catch is this. You can't do this just because you expect something in return. And I know that this is kind of a fine line to walk. But here's where the difference resides. And I need you to really hear this. The difference is not here. The difference is you got to travel 10 inches below to your heart. See, this needs to be more than just a business strategy for you. This truly needs to reside in your heart and in your soul. If you only do this because you think it's going to be a great business strategy, here's what I can almost promise you: it's not going to work for you. And the reason why it's not going to work for you is because you won't do it long enough to actually see the results. When you don't see if everything is a transaction for you, yeah, but you don't get it. I did that, so why didn't you do that? It's not in your heart and soul. It's in your head. You're doing it for your own benefit. So you truly, truly have to have a heart for helping other people. You truly have to love and care about those around you. This is the secret ingredient that has built my business. And this is the secret ingredient that is missing from a lot of your businesses, to truly, truly have this be a part of who you are. And I'll tell you, being a giver, in my mind, is all about putting love at the center of your business. And not what most of us fall into the trap of doing, which is putting scarcity and ego at the center of our business, where it's just about us. Another commission check, another rank advancement, another sale. What can you do for me? Looking at people like just a number on your downline. Look, I know a lot of really good intentioned people that fall into this trap. There are very few things you will ever do in your life that will transform your life faster than putting love at the center of your business. And love is it's not a feeling or an emotion. Love is how you treat other people. It's the way you act towards them. That's what a giver is all about. This is how you build up relational accounts. And look, I've created an entire movement inside of this profession that I call the Legacy Leader Movement. I know we've probably got a lot of legacy leaders in here. If I have any legacy leaders on live here, just give me a shout, Legacy Leader, let me know you're here. But the entire concept of legacy leadership is based on this. And I'll tell you, here's the best part. These are not just things that sound good or make us feel good. We practice them in other areas of our life, our family, our spiritual life, all this other part, our faith. But for whatever reason, they don't translate into business. There's no alignment. And I'm here to tell you, these are not only things that make you feel good and that work in other parts of your life, they are the best business strategy out here today. And in legacy leadership, we teach that network marketing is really just a vehicle to help you love yourself and love others, to serve them and to grow, to make an impact. And at the end of the day, here's what we realize. It took me 10 years to realize this. The income that you earn in your business will be a byproduct of the impact that you make in the lives of other people. And that's what this day's training is all about. So here's your homework assignment, okay? Your homework assignment today, and this is in the homework guide, by the way. If you haven't printed this up yet, maybe one of my team members can drop this in the comments. We also have it in the units tab of the group here. But here's your homework assignment. I want you to identify 5 people that have already told you no, that you've already approached. It could be products, it could be business, it doesn't matter. I want you to find 5 people that have already told you no, and I want you to make a deposit into the relational account with them, right? I want you to ask yourself this very scary question. I'll repeat it. I asked it earlier. When was the last time you called, spoke to, met with someone that you know, and it was not about business? Now, I'll even, so what we did was this. In the guide, we actually give you a couple of things that are important. I give you an actual, listen, it's funny because it's like, I'm going to give you a script on how to do this because I know some of your brains are analytical ones. They just need the scripts, right? They need the scripts, right? But here's the thing. Do I really need to give you a script on how to love someone? Do I really need to give you a script on how to be more compassionate, on how to care about, do you really need a script? Probably not, but I give you a script anyway. I literally give you a script here on exactly what to say when you're reaching out to them And then I teach you how to set up a time to speak with them live by phone or Zoom or even grab coffee with them. And I give you a script of what to say when you're with them, just to give you the confidence to start the exchange. But listen, at the end of the day, here's all I want you to do. I just want you to be there for them. I want you to listen to them. Be interested, right? And now here's the key, and this is the hard part. You cannot bring up your products or business. Do not tell them right up front, I am not calling about business. I was thinking of you. I wanted to see how you are. And do not, look, even if they say, yeah, but I'm interested, say, okay, at the end, we can chat a little bit about my products, but that's not why I'm calling today, right? Do that. I'll even give you a bonus assignment. Some of you, we even give you a bonus assignment. Here's some bonus homework. Here's some extra credit. Do this with one person on your team. Do this with one person on your team. Call up a leader and say, I'm not here to talk business. I'm here to connect with you. We haven't done that. How's life? Watch the impact that has on your ability to lead other people. But I'm telling you, this right here, if you can create a habit for yourself, and I even give you in the guide, we give you a space to print up so that you can take notes, because here's the key. You do more than just be there and listen. Take notes. Find out, right? Is there anything that you can follow up with them? Maybe they tell you, hey, we're going on a vacation next month. I'm so excited. Maybe you're like, follow up next month. When they're done, see how vacation was. And listen, here's what this does. It takes away all the pressure on what do I do? What do I say? And now, but here's what I know some of you are thinking. Yeah, but Bob, how's this make us more sales, right? Because some of you, you need to be able to connect the dots because you're still being a taker. Bob, I just need to know, like, how is me talking to them about their vacation? How's that going to get me to, when do I bring up? You don't. I'm telling you, if you can just have faith that this is a universal principle, that if you give and you show love and care for others, if you pour into your network, you will have, I'm telling you, opportunities will show up for you in a way that you've never seen before. People will surprise you. Stop being a taker, start being a giver, lead with this, and watch what this does for your business and for your results. Build up those relational accounts so that when you do try to make the withdrawal, you've got a much better chance at success. So that is the homework for today. So hey, listen, let's take, as we do each day, let's take some time for some questions here. And let me know if you have any questions in this area. And hey, look, if you've got some team members that you know need to hear this message, tag them in this video. And if they're not registered yet, it's not too late to register. You can still send your team to reviveyourdownline.com. They can still register. We're leaving registration open all the way till Friday. And I do want to tell you, I've got something really special planned for you on Friday. So stay with me here. Don't lose focus. Make it to day 5. I promise you the best is yet to come. And I'm going to have a really big reward for those of you that make it to day 5. So make sure you stick around for the next couple of days. So, okay, cool. So Kate asks, what do you do with all the people who ignore you when sending your messages? Well, Kate, if I send you a message and you ignore me, first thing I need to look at is what's the message that I sent. Okay, sometimes the message you send, if you're trying to pitch them on the first message, they're going to ignore it. I ignore those messages. Look, somebody messages me and they're trying to pitch me in the first message, I do not even justify it with a response. It doesn't deserve a response in my mind. Okay? So be honest with yourself. Maybe you've messaged them wrong in the past and your account is empty with them. Maybe you've messaged them the right way and they still didn't respond. Well, then I want to ask myself, is there a different way I can contact them? See, if I know you and I message you on Facebook and you don't answer, I'm not going to message you on Facebook again. I'm going to text you or call you or something like that. Now, let's assume that social media is the only way you know to get in contact with someone. If I message you and you don't respond, and I know you relatively well, it's okay for me to send another message a day or two later and just say, hey, wanted to make sure you saw my last message. And if they don't respond to that, move on. Just means that they're not ready at this point. So. All right, let's see here. So Lauren has a good question. A lot of her friends are mamas with little ones who can't hop on the phone. So Lauren, I'll tell you this. This will be most effective if it's done live. Now live could mean a call, could mean a Zoom, could mean a physical meeting. Now let's assume that for whatever reason, you can't make that happen. Worst case scenario, what I would do is voice message on Facebook. You could do it through messages back and forth or texting. That's better than nothing, but it's not nearly going to be as good as the other thing. So as a last resort, if that's your only option, it's still way better than nothing. So if that's what you got to do, then that's what you do. But I would make it a goal for your 5. Try to at least schedule, it's probably not going to happen today, but try to at least schedule a live interaction with 5 people, because that's going to be the best bang for your buck. So Savannah already does that in her business. Congratulations. Let's see. Okay, please on the apology message. So Renee, anything you need to say is in the homework guide. I've got the exact scripts in here of what to say and what to do. So all that is in there. Heather says, this is the easy part for me. How can I get better at getting them to become a part of my business? Well, Heather, that's what tomorrow's training is for. So tomorrow's training, we're going to talk about following up. So you have someone that you've shared your third-party tool with. Now what do you do and what do you say to get them to the point of joining? That's what tomorrow's training is going to be. So tune in tomorrow and I'll hopefully answer that question for you. Marcia, literally anybody you can do this with. Any single person. Now my recommendation, just to be clear, I don't want you to call them out of the blue. You're going to be more effective sending them a text or a Facebook message connecting. I give you the exact script in the guide. Connect with them through technology to set up the time to talk. You just try to call people out of the blue, you'll barely get a hold of anybody. So that would be my recommendation. Steven, you are welcome. So Naomi, if you have some team members that you want to register, just have them go to reviveyourdownline.com. The link is in the image of this group. If you go to the header image, you'll see reviveyourdownline.com. They can register there, still available. So Jean, fair question. Her point is sometimes we need people to give to us. Are we shutting it out and not realizing it? Well, Jean, I would say that once again, I'm going to go back, there are different types of givers. There are people that give with the expectation of getting in return. I say they're takers. There are people that give to anyone and everyone without discernment. That can possibly be a problem because now let's take, for example, this is not part of the training, but let's take people on your team. Here's a good example of giving the wrong way. A lot of times as a leader, we give our time and our attention to people consistently that never do anything with that. They never, they just like complaining and getting on the phone with us, but they never take action. They're not responsible or committed to their own success. Well, if you continue to give to that person, that's not their problem, that's your problem. You need to set boundaries. Now when we talk about prospecting, this is different though, because you got to be willing to give to people that you're not going to get back from. This is part of the deal. But when it comes to your team members, if you keep giving to someone that's not showing you they're worthy of that time, then that's your problem. So you have to learn as a leader how to set boundaries and how to be able to discern your giving and give to people that deserve your time when it comes to your team mostly. So, Heidi, the extra step is implementing everything else you're learning this week. If you're good at keeping relationships up, but you're not good at conversions, then you need to work really hard on everything that I'm teaching you over these 5 days. Literally everything you will ever need, you will get in these 5 days when it comes to prospecting and recruiting. So you just have to keep practicing it and implementing it. Melissa, if I hear crickets, eventually I'll just move on. Susan, I'm going to answer that question to you tomorrow. What do you say to someone that you sent the third-party video to, and they say they're interested? So I'm going to go over that. That's going to be the topic of our message tomorrow. Let's see here. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Tendai. The script is in there. Even people that know what you're doing, that should have no impact whatsoever on you doing this with them, because you're not even making it about your business. But I do have the script in there that will help you to do that. So Jennifer, if you don't have a team, then you got to implement what you learned this week, and you got to create a team. And if you feel like your upline has given up on you, and if you think that's going to keep you from being successful, then you need to change your mindset and your story, because that's a red light. Because I will tell you this, there is no upline in the world that will make you successful. You will make you successful. No one else will make you successful but you. And I got news for you. You don't need an upline to be successful. I've built successful businesses with zero upline support. I've had great uplines. I've had no upline. I've had terrible upline. The one thing that was in common in all those cases was me. So here's my advice to you. Use your upline as an example of what you don't want to become once you do have a team. And understand that maybe that person was placed in your life to be an example to help you to become the person that you need to be. That's a good example of creating a green light story and changing your perspective on your situation. So Ashley, in the top of this group, you'll see a tab that says units. Click on that and everything you need for the challenge is in there. All right, we'll take a couple more questions here. Noel, the script will help you making that transition. Let's see here. Let's see here. So Kelsey is so here's Kelsey. I'm gonna address your question because this is a good one. Her question is, she's been doing this for over a year. She feels like she's done it all wrong. Now I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk to me, period. I really want to focus on relationship building at this point in my business. How do we basically reset the relationship? Kelsey, this is a great example and it's a great question, and a lot of people struggle with this. You've got a choice. You can choose to focus on the past and what you have or have not done, or you can focus on the present and the future and ask yourself, who's the person that I would need to be in order to create the results that I want? And my recommendation to you is get your foot out of the past, forget about what you have or haven't done, and start showing up every day and start doing the things that you know you need to do, and over time that will create the results for you. Look, a lot of those people you did it wrong with a year ago, something has changed in their life. Timing has changed. So if you just start every day with the little habits, what I'm giving all of you this week are the habits that are going to create the success you want, but you got to give yourself some time. We're going to talk about that on Friday, but my recommendation is divorce that story, just start showing up, be the person you know you need to be, and that will ultimately make the difference for you. So, all right, well, listen, everybody, I don't want to hold you up any longer because you got homework to do, and I want you focusing on action and execution. So make sure you print up the guide, do your homework. Congrats on getting past the halfway point. Tomorrow, we're talking about following up and closing, and we're going to give you a lot of great scripts and strategies. So make sure you tune in, let your team know, and keep promoting until we close registration at the end of the day on Friday. So have a great day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care.